Hello everyone, and welcome back to another GIS lecture video series. And in this lecture video series, I want to talk about measuring geographic distributions. Measuring geographic distributions. Specifically, we're going to talk about how to measure the center of a distribution and how to measure the sort of variation and orientation of that distribution. So what we're going to talk about first is sort of a review of basic statistics that we're going to be using. So we're going to be talking about things like mean, median, and standard deviation. Then we're going to talk about how we can apply some of these basic statistics to geographic distributions by talking about measures of central tendency, or measures of the center of a data set. And we're going to talk about mean, median, and something called central feature. So mean, median, and central feature. We're going to then move away from just measuring the center to measuring the actual variation in the distribution by talking about two things. First is going to be called standard distance. And then we're going to improve upon this concept of standard distance by talking about something called the standard ellipse. So standard distance and standard ellipse are related to each other, and they are a way of measuring the distribution around this measure of center. Then we're going to talk about considerations of use. Sort of why you might pick one measure of center over another. And then we're also going to talk about two specific considerations, one being outliers, and seeing how and why they can impact the measure of center. And then talking about this sort of idea of multiple features overlapping each other. So multiple overlapping features. And we'll talk about why this occurs organically and some reasons why you might want to consider or some ways that you might want to consider handling these that will have a drastic impact on your measure of center and your measures of variation here. And then finally, we're going to wrap up sort of talking about outliers by talking about how we can actually remove outliers or handle outliers. Okay, so hopefully this was a good overview, and as always, if you have any questions, please reach out. Thank you.